Welcome to the Black and Gold podcast, where we have another guest in the studio today to look at his career, his best 11, play the higher or lower game, and get the fans' questions into him as well. As always, please keep liking, sharing, subscribing to us on our YouTube channel, the Black and Gold podcast. Pedro, we're finally back with a guest in the studio.
Feels good to be back.
Are you ready for it?
Aye, see, it's been a while, isn't it, since we've had one in, so we've been busy people, so it is good. So, and that's what we're on about it, obviously off air. I think we should try and squeeze another one before the end of the season as well, because I know you say you've got plenty of time on your hands.
I enjoy doing all the grafting, all these pieces of paper here. I enjoy pulling them together, as you know. It's good. It's good to get a guest in, and one that we both know pretty well. So it'll be one to look forward to, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
I'm always happy, Peter. With a guest in the studio, always happy. You ready to go?
Aye, let's get into it.
Right, let's get in it. I'm delighted to welcome today's guest to the Black and Gold podcast. He's a well-travelled player, both north and south of the border, and even dipped his toes in the footballing industry over the water as well. A man who's played for the likes of Gretna, Oldham, Dunfermline, Stranraer, Carlisle United, Peterhead, along with many more. But of course, Annan Athletic as well, where he's currently still playing in the playing squad and is now goalkeeping coach. Welcome to the Black and Gold podcast, Greg Fleming.
He does to the
Greg,
first goalie on the show, obviously apart from yourself. I wasn't even meaning that as a dick, I was meaning as a guest.
Yes, no, it is. So it's quite nice to have a bit of good.
You've done your special handshake.
Good company. Goalie union handshake. Exactly. Greg, first time in the studio. Do you like it? Decent setup.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Done well.
We've done well on a limited budget, that's for sure.
Exactly, no, it looks very good.
Did you catch many of our episodes?
Do you know what, I've actually watched most of them.
Have you?
Aye. I think they've actually been very good. Chunky's one, I think it was the last one I've seen.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the last one. That we
Probably,
had,
yeah,
was
last
it?
guest,
And
yeah.
He actually thought he spoke very well about stuff about the club and that, so no, I've watched them all, so.
He's paying your wages, you've got to say that.
Reminiscing with Carl McMenamin as well, because obviously I've been at quite a lot of clubs with Carl. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Listening to some of the stories and you're going, let's see if he's bullshitting or not. But he actually spoke the truth.
Yeah.
For once.
What are you laughing at? No, we've got a couple of features in store. The higher or lower game, which everyone enjoys. You looking forward? How's your general knowledge?
Yours is no bad.
It's
Is
actually
it?
no bad. If it's about football, I'm actually alright.
Oh well, it's
terms
all
of
about
that, so
football. Generally
hopefully-
Scottish, but I think there's a few different.
I actually quite fancy myself to do okay.
Oh, top of the table,
Aye.
maybe.
Crazy.
You think so?
I think he's got decent football knowledge.
Great.
Pressure's on now.
Pressure is on, so let's get stuck right in it. Get in his
Absolutely.
career.
Hi.
So, Greg, born in Dunfermline,
Yeah.
you started your youth career with Woodside BC,
It
who
was,
are in
aye.
Glenrothes.
Yes.
Was that just a local club, decent standard at that
Well,
point?
it was Dunfermline office, Dunfermline, it's like 15 miles away,
Yep.
but it was decent sort of youth set up that they had at the time in the Fife League, so it was one that obviously I went to and enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was there plenty of teams obviously up there when you were?
it's decent. There's like teams Dunfermline, Rosyth,
Aye.
loads of other teams around Glenrothes, Kirkcaldy, Keltway, Cowdenbeath. There's
Aye, of
Fife's a
course.
decent size
See, even
area.
like the kiddies, is that the Woodside Boys Club? Is there plenty of choice for, or was that one that
Aye,
you were
not-
earmarked to go to? Or?
There was plenty of choice, but
Aye.
the team at the time, well, they were actually alright, so we had decent enough runs in the league and Scottish Cup and whatever else, obviously, but the Fife League was never thought of that highly, to be brutally honest. We always done well against like your Edinburgh teams, in the Scottish Cup and stuff, so it was a good setup and that, and had like teams all the way through from maybe like under 7s and up to 16s, I think it was.
Right.
What age did you start playing there? Young or 10s?
10. So
Back in the day, that was probably normal, though. We spoke about this before. It was. I don't think you really played organised football before 10. Whereas now it's like
It's
5 year
normal
old.
to be 5, 6 year old to
to be
get
fair,
games.
the Fife League was actually quite well run in the fact that until you get like a certain age group, they'd maybe let some teams So my first sort of season playing football was in the league above, like the age above. So sometimes if a team was decent, they'd let that like a team into the league, and I think there was like 20 odd teams or something in the league. So you were playing literally every week and playing. Obviously, like when we were younger, it was straight away into 11-a-side goals. And at 8-9-year-old, you're tiny, and folk were coming through and just dinking you for fun.
Shooting for fucking miles out.
But it was miles better. Like, and like you look now at like my oldest plays in goals, and he's played 7-a-sides, 9-a-sides, and then 11. Whereas we were straight into 11.
Yeah, just need to deal with it.
Aye, got on with it and deal with it. See how you get on. You had your coaches who never slaughtered you for getting dinked or balls going in your head, and it was actually probably made it miles better because you got that understanding of like playing football a lot earlier than what, as I said,
positional sense for outfield players, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was that they started off at 11 straight away, but I don't know what it's like now. But obviously, when I was younger, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously that journey then takes you to Livingston as your sort of first senior team youth. What age did you join them?
It would have been for the under 15s.
Under 15s, right.
So under 15s, then 16s, and then full time.
Full time after 16s, right.
But like in the 16s, it was like obviously going on the holidays. And obviously whatever else, but it was a good club. Like I think I've told you before. Remember the Javi Sanchez Brotto?
Yeah.
Used to go up with him. What a keeper he was, man.
Bring that a bit closer, just in case
there we go. What a keeper he was. Like obviously got moved to Celtic.
His kick, remember his kick?
Frightening.
Incredible.
We used to go, so like obviously being a young boy, there was myself, Davy McEwen, you might remember him. And we used to always ask him questions like, how do you do it, this, that and the next thing. He'd be like, right, we'll work on it. And he was actually a really nice guy.
Yep.
And he'd like, you remember he said to us, go and get 3 like bins, like wheelie bins, put 1 there, 1 in the middle, 1 out wide. So the goalie coach, Roy Baines, would like throw him a ball and shout a number, 1, 2 or 3, and he'd be able to like side volley, land it in the bin. And we'd be like going, like that, like your shot. And me and David going boom out the stand and out the Astro pitch outside, over the fence, everywhere. And we're like, how are you so good at it? And he's like, Jose Luis Chilavert taught me how to do it. And you're going, it's not bad.
That's not bad,
But again, he was a young guy at like 14, 15-year-old going in, and he's taking the time to spend with you to try and help you. Because I still can't do the kick now, like, but
it's some tech, isn't it?
And he was ridiculous at it, but that was sort of goalie at Livingston had at the time, which was very good.
Good. When you went full time, did you enjoy it? Did you think that was going to be your journey?
To be fair, it was one of them where every other player got a 2-year contract apart from me. I got 1. So I went full time and I was like 7th choice.
Right.
So we had 7 full time goalies at the time.
Wow.
So a team like Livingston, you're not expecting 7 goalies, are you?
No.
So you're going full time, and it's like I'd left school, I'd looked at going to college and whatever else because I didn't know. Like I'd played a few games for the 18s beforehand, but there'd been nothing had come forward to saying about getting a contract or nothing, whereas a lot of other folk had all been offered December, January time. I think I got one at the end of May.
Right.
And I was starting pre-season about 3 weeks later. So you're panicking, but I think it was just a case of try it, see how it goes, and it was an old school pre-season where running in the mornings, running in the afternoon. I don't think we actually seen a ball until the Friday. Started the Monday and just done double sessions running, and it was. I definitely would have make a break. Some boys there was a few.
Who was the first team manager at that point?
It was one member. Cole was talking about the Brazilian guy.
Marcelo
or whatever his name was.
Yep.
So you're doing all this running, and the first thing we're doing keep you up with tennis balls. If you can master this, you can master a football. It's what you was saying to them, and that you're going, you're not working here. Like
you're running up and doing the sand dunes.
You're running around the pitch, and you've got 90 seconds to get around the pitch, and 2 times, and you're going, nah, I'm not cut out for this run. I think that's when I knew
I'm a goalie now.
Goalies have to do every run. The only decent thing was the following season. Obviously, Big Melly. He's the only guy
yes.
I'd ever finish in front of.
Melly could not run. He was not built to run.
No, he'd run so far. I've got a sore calf. I can't do any better. He'd pull out and I'm like, cheers, Melly. But it was good. Like I really enjoyed it, and as I said, me just having a 1-year contract, I just thought, see how it goes, try my best and see how it goes.
Yep, give it everything. Was there any notable names in your youth team that we went on to have decent careers? Or?
There was at my age group we had Scott Boyd, centre half. He was in my youth team.
Ross County Kelly played for as well, didn't he? Yep.
Aye. So he come through, but Robert Snodgrass, Graham Dorrans,
decent.
Gary Miller, remember him?
Back?
Murray Davidson.
Wow.
So we actually had a decent team.
Good crop of players,
Alan Walker, who played at Wraith Rovers and stuff. He come through, and Jimmy Scott.
Martin Scott, yep.
So that was like
that's a very good crop of
decent
players.
So we done all right. I think the year you won the
Youth Cup.
We got to the semi-final, got beat by Hearts.
Right.
Was it Hearts? No, sorry, quarter-final, got beat by Hearts. And then...
because I think we beat Hearts in the semis, I'm sure, maybe when Kelly won it. But that's a decent crop. So, again, were you playing, was that sort of, because it was under 18s, wasn't it, at that point?
Yeah.
Were you playing every week in that? Were you close, did you ever get close to the first team? Again, goalies generally, when you're younger, get to train with the first team quite a bit, because some of the first team goalies don't want to play in the games or whatever, and you'll get launched in.
You get launched in and abused.
Aye.
You're 16-year-old and you've got boys like Stuart Lovell, oh my God.
Goalie basher, was he?
Goalie basher, hated goalies, especially young goalies. And if you got put on his team, you're like, oh my God, here we go. But like, then you had lads like Marvin Andrews, who couldn't be nicer. A lovely big guy who'd go out his way to help you and stick his big head in front of anything, and you're going, this is brilliant. And then outfield players like Derek Lilly, striker, who's very good with young boys, and David Fernandez, who was a very good player.
Brilliant guy as well. He was at Kelly with me. Great guy.
You'd actually you'd have like experienced boys having a go at you, and he'd be trying to stick up for you, and it actually made you feel a wee bit accepted, because you've got these guys sort of sticking up for you and that, like Jamie McAllister and lads at the first team. So some right good lads and like a decent team. Yeah,
decent. The financial trouble started to kick in towards the end of your kind of time at Livingston. Could you feel it coming? Obviously, I think it was 2004 they went into administration. Is that how you ended up leaving the club, or what was the situation at that point?
So they went into administration my first season.
Oh, did they? Right,
first season full time. So knew nothing about it until maybe the end of January, end of February, I think it was, and the wages weren't in.
Right.
And then everyone got called in, like first team, youth team, everybody, and we all got given a cheque. Right. And that was your wages, so you had to go and cash your cheque and obviously wait for that. And then about 2 days later they went to administration. And I was like over the weekend, I think it was, and then on the Monday it was boys, club's going to administration, there's going to be cutbacks, there's going to be this, that and the next thing, and at the minute we don't know who's going to be going and who's going to be staying or that, but this is what's going to be happening, and we'll try and keep you posted as much as we can. And obviously that, I'm not going to lie, it helped me massively. Like I was playing every week for like the 19s or the 18s at the time, so there was 2 other goalies, and then there was obviously another 4 in the first team. So Big Davy McEwen got released for administration, and somebody else, Scott Finlay, got released, and one of the youth goalies that went to Partick, so it whittled it right down. And then at the time Alan Main was there and he was struggling with his injury, so it was like, and then the other youth team got injured, goalie got injured as well, so it was like me and Roddy McKenzie. Alright, okay. So it opened the door kind of for you? Massively. So me starting that season at 7th choice, I finished it at 2nd, and it was massive. Like that probably happening, them getting rid of quite a few other goalies, I then like sort of
propelled you up.
And said I finished the season on the bench for the first team for a couple of games and that, so you're then going into the following season and going, hopefully it's like somewhat the same.
Yep. Do you enjoy your time at Livi?
It was good.
Good start.
It was
in
a
your
good
career.
start. It was good club. Like they had the kit man, a guy called Danny Cunnan. He was ruthless. Basically, like kit men are massive at a football club,
Yeah.
and if he liked you, made it so much easier. And if he didn't like you, he could make your thing like miserable. But he actually, I don't know why, but he took a wee shine to me, and he seemed to quite like us. So any sort of like things you could ask him, he'd bend over backwards to help you, and folk like that are like the unsung heroes really at football clubs.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. Anything to add, Pete? You're
No,
quiet. Quiet over there.
I'm
Just
enjoying it. I don't want to butt in.
staring at him.
I'm not just in awe. It's just merged into the background. It's just a floating head.
Stay slim in this.
You then obviously in 2005 joined Gretna. Was what league were Gretna in at that time?
It would have been equivalent to League One now.
Right,
So
okay.
I think it was second division. It was called at the time.
Yep.
So I said I come to the end of my youth contract at Livingston, and Richard Goff was actually the manager.
Oh,
of the
was
first
he?
team at
Right.
Livingston. So you had him and Archie Knox were
Mhm.
in charge. But again, it was one of them where there was 6 lads who were in the second year, and the rest was all young boys, and 3 got kept on, 3 got released, and I was one of the ones that got released. We all got given a letter. So we've been out training, and we obviously come back in. There's a letter sat for me, a boy called Rudy Caulfield and a boy called Robbie Arthur, just sitting on our piles. Like, what the fuck was this? And that was it. Opened it. Just to let you know that your contracts will not be getting extended. Thanks for everything. And it's going, that was nice something to give us a bit of heads up.
Fucking hell.
We got a letter.
Somebody could have pulled it up and give us a wee word with it.
That was it. Like
A letter?
our youth team manager was Alec Cleland, and we were training, and he just disappeared. Like he was on the phone.
Of course he was on the phone,
Aye.
was he? Fuck, he was just wanting to be like that.
Greg, I'll catch you in a minute. Mate. I'm just,
He just disappeared, and then never come back out to training. So now, obviously we've gone into the away dressing.
he was away typing it up.
Fuck, he's away. And that was it. Aye. And then 2 weeks.
Alec Cullen that's at St Johnstone. He's a really quiet, nice. He's a nice guy, but he's quite quiet. I couldn't imagine him wanting to release anybody.
No, it was proper awkward, because 2 weeks later we got pulled in, and that was when obviously Melly was there. So I've obviously said to Mel, look, what did I say to him?
Aye.
Mel's that, be a cunt. You know what Melly's like, just straight to the point. Be a cunt. I'm not going, but how? What did I say? Just hammering him loads of questions, see how he responds to it. Right, okay, no worries. So we'll go in, I'm sitting down, and he's talking about us. Aye, the manager doesn't think there's anything here for you. So I was like, right, okay, I says, and so I started asking him all these questions, and he was just, actually, I felt
Bad.
comfortable asking
Yeah.
him the questions, and he just, he couldn't look at you. He was like, no, it's going, nah, that doesn't, like, I'm not going to get anywhere here asking you questions. I'll just have to take what you've said and get out here, because it was embarrassing. Then obviously Livingston stayed up last game of the season. Richard Goff leaves the next day, and then another letter comes through the post offering you the chance to appeal the decision because he's no longer manager.
No way.
Seriously?
Aye.
Wow.
So what was the guy's name? Chairman, Irish guy, Pierce Flynn. He was his chairman. He was a bit of a dodgy one, like, but I letter come through from him signed. If you wish to appeal the decision, get back within a certain amount of time. It's that
You were like, it's done.
case piece.
Aye.
You've released
Appeal
this.
in what way though? We're going for a trial or what?
I don't know if I
Okay,
could.
I mean,
That's all the letter says. It says you have a right to appeal the decision because the manager's away, and you're going, why?
Take it to kangaroo
Somebody else
court.
is going to come in and just go, no, I don't want
Bizarre.
you.
Aye.
So,
I thought you were away.
I just thought Chance Man turned off again.
But that takes you to Gretna. For do you sign a 3-year deal there?
I was there for 3 years, but it was a 1 year then.
1 year, right? Okay.
So
Who was the first team goalie at that point?
Alamein.
Ah, right.
So what happened was Gretna had come up to play Livingston, like just a friendly match before the international break. You used to
Yep.
get like a few days off. So they'd come up and played, and obviously I was speaking to Al, talking away, and he sort of just dropped, what's to happen next season, don't have a clue. He says, well, we're looking to try and get a young keeper coming in. If it's something of interest, you let us know.
Yep.
I thought, great. Didn't have his number, did I? So I get released by Livingston, and Scott McLaughlin, remember him, midfielder?
Yeah.
He said, give Al's off phone, he'll take you down to Gretna. I said, you got his number? Like, he said, aye, do you want me to send you? I said, aye, because I don't have it. He said, so literally an hour later my phone goes, so obviously a number I don't recognise, but you're a young boy at the time, you answer it, and it's Alan Main on the phone. I'm thinking, nah. I've been in a dressing room with Snoddy, I've heard him doing all these impressions, and him and Scotty were quite tight, and I was like, yeah, good one, Al, good, catch that on, mate. Just hung up the phone. So an hour later, phone goes again, exact same number, starts talking. I was like, look, Snoddy, fuck off, mate, no right time or the place, leave us alone. You might think you're being funny, but it's no funny. Hung the phone up again. Literally, as soon as the phone hangs up, it phones again. Right, you fucking big prick, you hang the phone up on me again, the deal's off the table. So I'm like, is that you, Al?
Sounds like him.
Actually, it was an angry voice, so it definitely sounded like I'm like, oh no. And then he's like, look, you're wanting to bring somebody in, a young keeper who can work with, and something might happen in the future, who knows, do you fancy it? Nothing to lose, I had nothing else, I didn't know what else I was going to do. I'd been applying for jobs. I actually went for an interview at the fire service,
right,
because I didn't know
if there was going to be full time for you there.
So I'd done 2 years full time, and it's like, well, what happens now? Because a lot of the time you've seen folk get released, they went part time, and
yep,
there wasn't many that got released and went full time again after it. So I sort of tried that, but then he come in, said that, and then they said the offer come on the table, and that was that. Going, it's foolish not to try it.
Did you move? Because you would have trained in Annan at that point, did they?
I did. So we used to get changed at the rugby club.
All right, yep.
So get changed there and then train at the Everhome. Used to try and find a bit where you could train where there's no dog shit and that. So normally used to train in the pitch with the running track around it. So I trained in there a lot. So, and it was really good.
It was alright, aye.
It was good. Like,
did you move down here then?
I did, aye. So moved down. There was me and 2 other lads were putting a house in Gretna. So
fucking that would have been an experience, was it?
Aye. Fucking did nothing to do at all. So I think they're all saying knew what they're doing, putting you in there, because there was nothing to do, and none of us had a car. So it was like buses or trains down to Carlisle.
Fuck.
So it was one of them, but no, it was good.
So you weren't in one of them Chryslers?
No, definitely not. I think by the time the cars all come about, there was like me and Craig Bard, only 2 that didn't get a car. And everybody else had motors, like they had like 1 Series or something like that, and you're going, that's probably for the best. I didn't have that. I had my V206, Peugeot 206, that was enough.
Perfect. So your kind of journey at Gretna was that you were obviously, as Alan said, you were kind of second choice goalie, working to try and get into that first team spot, and it was actually kind of the season they got in the Premier League that eventually was kind of your breakthrough season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So obviously they get promoted, and then the pre-season for the Premier League, there must have been a trialist goalie on every day.
Oh, was there? Right.
It was horrendous. So there was like myself and Smiler, Davy Matheson, were the 2 signed goalies. They ended up signing Tony Craig, but then couldn't get his registration because he was playing in America.
Right, okay.
So I think it was Vancouver he was at, wouldn't release his registration or whatever, for whatever reason. So
it's Canada.
Yeah,
it's Canada.
Alright,
sorry, Christopher Columbus. I just want to let you know that was
I think it was Vancouver. Is he Vancouver or Houston? He was at one of them. It's quite, obviously, one of the 2.
Close. One of the 2, aye.
It was either Vancouver first and then he went to Houston.
Just a quick question to break it up, right? How long can you hover one of them up?
Probably not long.
Not soak it in, hover it up.
Not interested, I'd rather just eat it, mate. So I those.
I can't hear him jumping, man. Jesus, man.
So there's tryless goalies coming in constant, and it actually got to the stage where it was deflating as anything, because some of them are coming in were brutal.
So
were they just not wanting you to play, or what were they?
Probably not, no.
To pull in front of you?
Aye, so obviously with Kagey's registration and stuff, they couldn't get it. So they're basically looking for a goal, somebody to come in.
Scrambling about,
Aye. And so it was like, fucking keepers coming for Hungary. And you're going, Jesus Christ. If he's better than me, then I'm as well chucking it. And you're speaking to Smile and going like, what do we do? What can I do? Like, you're desperate for a chance, and he's like, mate, just bide your time. Something might happen, something might not. And, like, don't get me wrong, they brought in the boy Vito Manoni.
Yes,
for Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going, oh, he's decent. So he come play the game, was very good. And I think they sort of said to me, oh, Dumbarton have come in for your loan. Do you fancy it? It was Jerry McCabe.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I may as well. I'm not going to play here. I may as well go and get myself out, play some games, see what happens. So I was actually going to head up there as a trialist for a game. And I think I got so far up and got a phone call. You need to come back. Why? The trialist goalie who was meant to play in one of the games fucked off. He trained on the Friday.
Stood dog shit.
Just left.
Stood dog shit.
Dog shit on his shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just in these pristine pitches, dog shit on my shoulder. So he'd sacked it, so I could go back and play. And then that was like a week before, 2 weeks before the season started.
Fuck's sake.
So
Here you, Scuddy. Turn that 206 round and back down the road, pal.
it's at fucking Abington as well. Jesus Christ, it's cost me a fortune in petrol. So I had to turn around, go back down and play, and then I think we played like Queen of South, and then 2 teams split up for the last pre-season game, and then our first league game was Falkirk at home, and the Tuesday, Davy Irons Buildings goes, you're starting on Saturday, and you're going, heard it before. I mean, I've heard when the season before, Alan Maynard had a disagreement with a couple of folk, and he got suspended, so it was only me.
Yep.
There's a chance you're going to be playing on Sunday. Right, okay, no worries. And then he signs Ibby Malkowski. So I was bummed again. So when you're playing, I go, aye, whatever, I've heard that before. But I ended up playing, got scudded 4-0. Russell Lappy run the show, and
Jesus.
I was going, fucking hell, welcome to Scottish football, really. 3rd professional game, and got scudded. But it was one of them where it was like sink or swim. It was a lot of young boys, like with the boy Chris Innes, centre half, and he must have fought.
Big Bravo.
Aye, Big Bravo. So he must have fought the first couple of games, going, what the fuck is going on here? He's got me behind him, 20-year-old Craig Barr right back, 20-year-old Danny Granger centre half, 20-year-old, and I think Gav Skelton was playing left back, but felt sorry for Gav because Gav's a centre mid. He can do a job at left back, but he's miles better than centre mid, and that's Bravo's probably gone, wow. And we've got 8 goals in first 2 games. You're going, welcome to
a long season.
This could be a long old season. We're 2-0 up against Hibs, second game of the season, and then they brought on Zamama, Fletcher, and somebody else, and 2-0 up with 15-20 minutes to go, and they got beat 4-2. Aye, was that going, wow.
But again, that was obviously your kind of breakthrough, and it would still be a great opportunity for you personally as a goalie. You're like, you waited for that opportunity, and you joined the club to play for them, and especially that they've went up to the top flight when they weren't really ready squad wise, and obviously financially wise. We'll find out later on. They certainly weren't ready, but it was probably a decent opportunity for you.
It's perfect, to be fair, because it's like the opportunity being the right time at the right place, isn't it? And I was there and got to play quite a lot of games, so it was perfect.
There wasn't real expectations on you as a club then, was there, when you went up?
No.
Okay,
it was just trying to have the worst points total in history. It was
games at Motherwell as well. Remember that? It was
that's right.
It was so difficult for Gretna actually.
Like they'd obviously had these plans if they're going to redo Raydale and whatever else, and you never know who teams travelling down. Yourself, Raydale's not exactly lovely with facilities and that, but teams coming down might have been like, what is this? and it might give you that advantage, but the fact that you're travelling whatever up to Motherwell to play a home game made it a bit different, and local fans and that were just, I think they must have just went, nah.
You'd be sick of it, wouldn't you, if you were trying to travel to watch as well.
But again, as a young guy, personally for you, you would have got the opportunity to play against Rangers and Celtic and big clubs. Obviously, you mentioned Hibs, but some big clubs, big games for you as a young goalie.
I think the fourth or fifth game of the season, we played Rangers at Ibrox, and on the Wednesday night they just qualified for the Champions League. So then we played them on a Saturday. It was a lovely day, roasting hot, and Ibrox was bouncing. They'd qualified for the Champions League, and then little Gretna turn up and go and play them. And as you say, I'm 20-year-old at the time, and getting a chance to play it there, and it's gone, this is, don't mind this, like, wouldn't mind doing this all the time.
Get used to that.
Aye. When did you notice at the club that season that it was, or did you know even at the start of the season that it was going to go wrong? When did you have a sort of...
I think when you look at the start of the season, as I said, would actually maybe Bravo, Paul Murray, James Grady, Jenks. Jenks wasn't that old at the time, but he was quite experienced. Cobb was quite experienced, but other than that, I think I had many experienced lads in the team. There was a lot of young boys like...
Was David Nick not there then?
No.
He was away then?
He was gone by then. He'd been released at the end of the season before, so you look at it and going, like, there's a lot of young boys. There's no really any, like, obviously Bravo and James Grady and that, they've played in the Premier League, but I think that was it.
Not many,
not many HUD. So when you're starting a game with 4, 5, 6, 19, 20-year-olds,
it's going to be
tough, innit? But it obviously proved to be.
Yeah. And then obviously that season was the end of Gretna. I can always remember being a really tough season on the pitch for Gretna, which, as you mentioned there, it would always be if they've got such a young, experienced squad. First time in the top flight as well. But off the pitch, did you start to see it crumbling as well?
Well, before we went to administration, we went to administration, then we didn't get paid for God knows how many weeks, and then there was talk about like finishing that season, like halfway through the season or whenever it was, liquidating us. Then the transfer window was shut, and it would have to try and apply to get dispensation to sign for somebody and whatever else. And thankfully, they managed to see it through at the end of the season. But when the administration happened, and as I said, you're not getting paid for.
Was it difficult, like, when you aren't getting paid, again, you've got, just even try to survive, live. I mean, I know the wages were probably decent at Gretna at the time, but then when you stop getting paid, even 2 or 3 months without getting paid anywhere, you do start to struggle.
It wasn't as bad for me because I didn't have a mortgage, family to support.
Because you were still so young,
I was still young, so I was. But there was lads, obviously, like your Bravos with kids, and it'd been a lot tougher for them and whatever else. But as you say, I think it was 5 weeks we went with wages because we got paid weekly, and it wasn't ideal. But
was everyone still like turning up to training and getting on with business as normal?
Just raging at the same time.
Doug shite in the shoulder still.
We're at radio by then, so there wasn't Doug shit in the shoulder then. It was, or you hoping it wasn't, but you had even like Kenny Crichton, who was travelling down from like Glasgow area to come down, not getting paid, but still being the physio. And I'm pretty sure at the time he was going like,
there'd be a resentment in your head, wouldn't there?
Aye,
fuck am I doing here?
He sort of basically said that at one time he was going, I shouldn't be doing it. He says, but if somebody gets injured, that's going to play on my conscience that I've not been there to help do anything. So, like, Kenny's a great guy, and
he's doing it for the boys, basically.
Basically, he's just doing it to help make sure nobody got properly injured or anything like that. And that's the sort of folk you had at the club who would do anything to help you.
It was a tough and a sad time again, because they went. Do you know what I mean? It was a big story nationally, but locally we heard so much about it, and you can always just remember again when they were spending that money. I always thought it was unsustainable to do it, but yeah, it was an incredible story.
It was still the only club so far who's gone right the way through and up to the Premier League, innit? So will somebody else do it? I don't know, but they've got that little bit of history, I suppose, that they can hold on to.
absolutely. At the end of that season, obviously, everybody gets released. Do you get pulled in, told that, or do you already kind of know?
I got another letter. No, I was actually.
That Greg loves reading. Just send him a fucking letter.
Same administrator from Livingston must have sent it down.
Same envelope.
No, I was actually the day it happened. I was away with the Scotland 21s.
Right.
So it was one of the boys come out. It was Craig Barr come out and phoned us. Says, "You've all been released,
Including you."
Including you. You have to phone this number. So I phoned
999.
Samaritans.
Citizens Advice or something to help you out. But I sort of phoned the administrator, and they'd all been given like packs for redundancy pay.
Right.
So I'm like going, will I get sent one out? No, you're not getting one because you didn't turn up for the meeting, so you're not getting one. I was trying to explain why I wasn't there. Nah, it doesn't matter. You have to be here and to get one, so you're not getting one. So,
see,
cheers.
Just on it, did you ever come across each other at Scotland level or aye?
Yeah,
aye.
I was done. I was under.
Because obviously
18s,
we're the same age, aren't we?
19s, aye. Yeah, we're all the same age, aye.
19s, we done.
Never came across you, right enough.
We lost contact at school.
It was at Largs, wasn't it?
Aye, Largs, yeah. 19s, as you mentioned off air, Westy was the goalie coach. A big baldy guy, he absolutely used to batter you.
Was that like Scotland training, or was it just got goalie training, or what was it?
No, that was like
for the Scotland
under 19s team. Aye.
So it was a couple of days.
I try to think who else would have been the other
And
goalie.
did they
You
not kind
probably
of
know.
concentrate on diet and nutrition then? Though?
I think it was
You maybe missed that class.
Oh, was it? Like you and I.
Me and you must have skipped that class, went for lunch or something.
Like that redundancy pack. What could do with that? No, you're not getting it. You fucking missed the boat.
Taught me well through my career and all. Plenty of payoff. I big Ewan McLean, you're right enough, because mind used to come in, he was at Sunderland, they had the Nike sponsorship, and me and you are fucking got holy gloves and all that. Fucking.
We're trying to put a pair of Salesport together, aren't we? And hope for the best.
Bit of sellotape for them, they'll do. Fucking get them
Where
on.
did he end up?
He's a policeman now. That's where he is.
You've got Alan Combe written on yours, I've got Roddy McKenzie written on mine.
And you're not wrong, just put a bit of tape over it so it doesn't have
sleeve over the top so nobody can see who's club you're
Amazing.
at least you're in the same boat at the time. He's got all the best of Nike gear and that.
Honestly, he was sponsored by Nike. It was like, he was the next best thing, wasn't he? Goalie at that age. And
Where was he at the time? Like
Sunderland.
Right.
But he was like, he was a big lad, wasn't he? He was a big unit.
Big lumpy boy,
and he just, I don't know, he just never really...
Never kicked on, did he? Really went to Dundee United, didn't he?
St Johnstone as well. Mind he played a few games for St Johnstone, I think.
You remember he was at Dundee United? We played him with Gretna, and this was his sort of time to
shine.
Because I can't remember, I think it was Zaluska was injured at the time.
Yep.
So he got a chance, and we played him, and fucking he made a mistake, didn't he? We won 2-1. Ball played back to him, he's taking a heavy touch, boy takes it off him, scores, and that's a winner. And he'd never...
That was the end of him. I think because I can mind him playing with St Johnstone as well, and I think he made a couple of mistakes. Again, that's what it's like as a goalie. You make if you're young and you make a couple of mistakes early on in your career, you're done. He was a good guy. Actually, he was a nice guy, really nice boy. I've bumped into him since. I seen him when I was at Falkirk.
Fucking lifted me, man.
When I was at Falkirk, he was a bit. That's where he's in the CID up in Falkirk.
Oh, fucking tell everyone now.
Yeah, they all know.
He was actually a really good lad, because I think the last time I bumped into him was at Danny Granger's wedding, and he was there, and he was talking away, and I think he was talking about then he was just chucking football because he'd been released by St Johnstone. He'd been on loan somewhere, but hadn't really worked out for him again. I think it was Forfar or something. He went on loan, played a few games, and then made a mistake and got dropped. And as you say, that he was like the number one from all the youth things coming through, and then just disappeared off.
Strange, isn't it?
It is strange, yes. You then go leave Gretna. Get your letter again.
Another one.
Sent packing with no redundancy. And Oldham. You end up at Oldham on a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Which would be a good move at that point, no?
It was good, it was very good. I had a couple of options in that, but at the time I spoke to Mark Crosley, who was at Oldham, who was like player goalie coach.
Mhm.
And I'd seen him growing up. When I was
Nottingham Forest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, aye.
under Brian Clough.
Mhm.
So
The stories on
his stories are brilliant.
online
Honestly,
and that,
his stories and his impersonations.
When you
of
tell
folk.
him we were taking penalties into him in the back garden or something.
There's that many. See, like you hear all these stories and you're going, I've heard this a million times. But even his impersonations of folk was unbelievable. Like Shays, the manager, had a proper strong Manc accent. He had that to a T. He had Cloughie, he had Frank Clark, who was his manager. Nottingham Forest, he had them all. He was brilliant at them. And that's half the sessions was him doing impressions and telling
amazing.
stories. And then you get the shout, you're going, I think caught a ball's been listening to him pissing your skull laughing. But he was very good, like great guy. And obviously I spoke to him, and that's how I sort of helped decide that I was going to go there.
Mhm.
So a chance to work with somebody like that who'd had as good a career as him.
Fuck aye.
And you'd moved down the road, kind of new journey for you being down there as well then.
Aye. So I'd sort of been away from home for Dunfermline for 3 years at Gretna, so
Yep.
it wasn't completely alien to us, but you go down to Gretna, then down to Manchester, it's a bit of a difference. But I absolutely loved it there, to be fair. Loved Manchester, and I still say now to the day that I'd love to move back there, but it's never going to happen. But it's some place I really enjoyed living.
Mm.
It's just a nice
In the city?
place. In the city centre,
Just a buzz.
plenty of
city
social
buzz.
time in that as well. So it's every night of the week there's something on, so
What?
could always go out.
What? When did sorry, just got to jump this, but how come you landed up back in Annan to
What?
live?
Like the
With your
I went
missus
to Carlisle,
Got you.
so
Sorry, I've jumped a few
Moving-
steps here, but
it's like you moved to Carlisle, but wanted to try and set up. At the time, I think Luca was only 5. No, he'd been starting nursery, so and we sort of just set up. Annan was all right. So like obviously all our family's down here as well, and
yeah.
we sort of.
So when did you meet your missus? When you were at Gretna? Right, okay,
So
right.
she go to Manchester with you?
Right, so she was down there.
Aye, so, but we moved obviously back here and just set up, and after that it was just travel.
Aye.
And once obviously like Luca was settled in nursery, then Ruby was in nursery and then school, and then obviously Zach come along afterwards, and it's just now we're not moving. It's kids are settled now.
Aye.
Kind of keep like in England, you moved around a few times in different places and couldn't do that.
Can you keep going?
It's
Your
not
first
fair.
your first season at Oldham, how did that go?
It actually went. It was decent for a while.
Playing?
I sort of broke in. Like Big Mark Crosby was doing well, playing
Yep.
well, and it was it's pissing you off because you're not playing. You'd gone the season before playing quite a few games.
Yep.
And, I think I played one game against Burnley in the cup. When Owen Coyle was manager, when they got to the
Yep.
semi-final with the
Mhm.
the Carling Cup, whatever it was called. So I played against them, and that was it. And then obviously I broke into the team, and I was playing. We're doing all right, and then for whatever reason, the manager got the sack. We were in the top 6 basically all season, and John Sheridan gets the sack, and the fucking biggest nightmare ever comes in as manager,
Who was that?
Joe Royal.
Ah.
How he's won the FA Cup and promotions with Manchester City, I'll never know.
What was he
What was he
like?
like?
What was he like?
complete wanker.
Was he? Was he?
I hated him, like. Just,
In what way? What was it? Just everything, or
No, it was
against
just-
goalies, or
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like his first day he comes in. So Big Mark Crosby's injured still. There's only me. So he pulls us in and goes, "Look, I'm going to be signing another goalie." That's fine. I understood that. That's not a problem.
Yep.
He's somebody who I had at Ipswich, so I'm going to start with him as my first choice. But the door's not closed for you. Right, that's fine. That's back myself to do alright training to hopefully maybe change your mind. So I understood that completely. And then a couple of weeks down the line, and sort of he pulls us in and goes, "Can I have a word with you?" So I was like, yeah, no worries. So I went and seen him, and he's at that going like, "You're doing alright in training." He says, "Be patient, your time will come." So I was like, "Right, yeah, no problem." He says, "I have seen you a few times this season playing." I was like, "Alright, okay." Goes, "One of the games you done very, very well. And the other game, I thought you were rank rotten." So So I was like, all right, straight to the point. I'm trying going, I could have been a few of them games. Like,
Which one?
So I was like, oh, what were the games like? He says, oh, the game you played really well was you played Leeds. I says, all right, yeah. I says, Monday night game was on the telly and whatever else, so I thought, it's not too bad. And he's the other game was against Bristol Rovers. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, no, Bristol Rovers, I didn't even fucking play. I'm like going, it wasn't me. It was. So I'm obviously now doubting myself, going, nah, I definitely didn't play. I'd played the game before, and then I got dropped because me and the centre half got in a bit of a muddle and conceded a goal. So obviously the goalie carries the can, and I got dropped. And the assistant manager's like, so it's like this. I'm sat here, he's there, assistant manager's there. And I can see him sort of looking, going, I'm like, nah, that definitely wasn't me. So assistant manager gets up and goes through, he's like on a file, and he's looking through it, and he's it to Joe Royal and goes, he didn't play. Joe Royal looked at me and went, see you fucking little bastard. So I'm going, oh dear. He said, I'll fuck your career up.
Right.
And I'm not going, alright, I'll make sure your career's fucking finished here. You have the audacity to fucking answer me back. And I'm looking at the assistant manager and going,
Is he
you
joking?
going to say anything here? Or I'm sitting there and I'm just going, right, because he's got a fucking big head, like, and this thing's going red and red, and I'm going, he actually starting to lean up, and I'm going, is he actually going to plant that head on me? So I'm sort of leaning back, and I'm going, fuck, I'm not getting hit off with that. And
big bowling ball.
it was massive. And he said, I'll make sure you're fucking finished here. Now fuck off. So I never played, I played the last game of the season, and obviously he'd been offered the job for the next season. I'm going, well, I'm not going to be here. But no, he took it and got a director of football job. So they gave somebody else a manager's job, and
So he moved up to director of football.
aye,
Oh,
got
So
another
it still
manager.
fucked you, aye.
And then basically, I had a new manager come in. They hadn't signed a goalie at the time, so it was like me and like the first year pro, and basically said to us, look, you're not going to play here. Do you want to go out on loan? I said, nah, I'll wait, fancy my chances, I'll break into the team. So my full coach said, right, okay, fair enough, I'll say to the manager. Then they signed Dean Burrell, remember him?
Mhm. Yep.
He signed, and nice lad, got on really well with him, speaking away, quite a thing. And then I got pulled in to say, look, you're not going to be second choice this season coming. And there's a strong chance you won't even be third choice. So I'm going, like, who's going to be third choice? Like, I'd rather bring somebody up for the youth team and have you. So I was like, right, okay, no worries, that's fine. He says, look, this isn't coming from me, this is coming from above. So obviously I'm going, he's a fucking dickhead. And then that was it. I was like, basically, go out on loan or
Stagnate.
you're not playing.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
So that's how obviously the loan come out going to Fleming.
P.S. It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
Dunfermline, aye, so you joined them. Decent loan move that though, no?
It was alright, aye. It was one of them where you just wanted to go and play football.
Did you go for that full season?
I did, aye. So I went for season loan, but I think there was obviously the option to call us back in January. It would have been like a cross border.
Mm-hmm.
There would the possibility of that, but I knew for a fact it would never happen.
They weren't going to.
Nah, I think it was just put in there just for something to put in, like. But aye, it was just one of them where I went out and I went and played some games, but I think it was about November time I broke my finger,
Right, okay.
and that was obviously a wee while out of the team, then back in, and then back out. And
Who's manager at Dunfermline at the time?
Jim McIntyre.
Oh, goalie hater, isn't he? Oh, I've heard stories about him.
Nah, he's no nice guy. Like,
No,
just go everything. Goalie's ball, 6-yard box, goalie's ball.
I can mind actually playing against him as well. He was a wee bit of a... Aye.
He basically is like a Ned.
Aye.
The way he
It's a good
spoke,
description.
he
Yeah.
was a Ned. That's the only way I could sort of describe him. Some folk liked him. Many goalies I think I've played for him
Didn't.
Oh, he was renowned though, because I said to you when we were speaking before we came on that I can mind when I was at, you just keep jumping away, Peter, don't you worry about them. When I was at Kelly and I can't remember the manager that had left. And then obviously the rumours going, different managers coming in and that, and Jim McIntyre was mentioned, and obviously the late Billy Thompson was a goalie coach, and Billy was like, pulled the boys in, he went, fucking hope it's no that McIntyre, because he'll fucking make our lives a misery. So he was like renowned in the game that he doesn't like goalies. Like, there's nothing worse. I hate managers that don't like goalies, because I said to you before, probably one of the most important, I'm not just saying this because I was a goalie, but I still do believe they're very important in your team. You're a centre half, you should be backing them up.
Exactly.
Fucking they never back me up.
Fucking poke you at the shit.
I was going to say, fucking everyone you played with. Fucking hell. Well, Pete's getting up for he's got to miss it again.
Oh, fuck, Pete's on the ball. Get ready. Get the set position.
Prepare for a back heel.
So you obviously you got injured and your time up there comes to an end. You go back to Oldham.
Aye.
What was the conversation then? Was Joe Royal still there?
Oh, Joe Royal was still there, still director of football, and brought in one of his ex-players, Paul Dickoff.
Oh, as manager?
Aye, so he coming as manager, and he's an early prick. And it was one of them. He comes in as manager, and like obviously he'd been away in Scotland. They sort of said, "We want you to come back, do pre-season, see how it goes."
Yep.
Whatever's gone in the past is done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me thinking, I've got a fresh challenge, I've got a chance maybe to go. And I don't mean sound like a twat of that, but Brillo hadn't had a good season.
Yep.
He'd made quite a lot of mistakes. And
so it was the opening there for you?
The basic was an opportunity there to maybe try and get back in. So I was thinking, right, fair enough. And then it was just one of them where then like an opportunity. Luca was born that summer, so it was like 2010. He's, I think, actually a couple of weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an opportunity of a lifetime basically for me. I think I've told you about it before in the past, Pete, and it's a chance to go out to Canada. So I'll get it right this time, mate. All right.
Vancouver?
No, it's Toronto.
Right.
No, it was Mississippi.
So it's a chance to go out there, and basically they'd all been agreed, and like flights and that were booked for me to go.
Right.
So I was going out to Toronto, and like it was a 3-year deal. I know things are different in the MLS, but it can change that. But it's a 3-year deal, and he pulled the plug on it.
Wow.
So I think I was
Dickoff or Royal?
Dickoff.
Both of them.
Aye,
Pair of them,
pair of them, aye. But pulled the plug on it and says, I can't let you go until I sign somebody else.
Jeez.
It's gone, but you've got the boy who was a first year pro the year before was now second year, so and you've got the young goalies.
Mm-hmm.
He said, nah, like I need, and I'm going to have to keep you just now. And then obviously that all falls through because I don't go out and whatever else. But a week later, if that hang to Toronto still on, you can fuck off and go if you want. It's gone. It's all falling through, thanks. And then I think it was about 2 days later I get put on the transfer list. You're free to go. And then I got injured and done my medial. So I was then out for quite a while with that.
So that scuppered you all the way to kind of January time?
I come back quite quick for it. So it was the end of Saturday, August I'd done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was back by the end of September.
Right.
So
what happened between that period when you were fit and January then? Were you involved or nah?
A lot of training.
Training on my own.
Were you?
Aye.
Was it one of them ones?
It was one of them. It was like there was like 5 lads on the transfer list at the time, and he tried to put us all out on loan, but I wasn't even back in training yet. And he phoned me and goes, Kettering in the north, is it the conference? I'm wanting you. Suggest you go. I've not even trained yet. I'm still trying to build up my knee and whatever else, and he's like, nah, I think it's best for you to go. I was like, look, you've put me on the transfer list. I've not asked to leave. I say, so if I'm going to go, it's going to be on my terms. I need it because I need to move to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to go and play and do myself justice. All right, is that how it's going to be? Next day, there's 5 of us I pulled in from tomorrow morning. You boys will report at 8 o'clock in the morning. And So we'd come in at 8. Nobody else would be there. Like youth coach would maybe be in, and then obviously the first team boys would come in. They'd go out to train. Youth team would be out training. You'd still be sitting in the reception bit, and then it'd be like, right, you can go and get changed now because they're all done, and you'd go with the fitness coach.
And train in the afternoon.
Aye, so about 12:30, you'd just go and
Fuck.
I was probably the fittest I've ever been. I was doing every line and back, coughing runs a lot. And then, to be fair, they'd actually put the goalie coach on the bench. So Dean Brill was playing, they put Paul Gerrard.
Yep.
So he was going on the bench, and it was actually him that said, like, what are we doing? Why am I sitting on the bench when we've got a perfectly good goalie there? So about middle of November, I got finally allowed to back train. And then I started getting in squads. And then he phoned us the day before the game. I think we were playing Rochdale, so it's like a bit of a derby match. I'm going to start you tomorrow. So I'm going, fucking hell, what's happened here? What a turnaround this is. So I've turned up for the game, boys, and this, that, and the next thing, names the team. Right, go start. Brillo on goals. I'm going, oh my God, what's happened here? So obviously normally be sub goalie.
Snodgrass.
Snoddy must have thought this. He must have nicked Dickoff's phone, picked up Paul Dickoff on my phone. And it was one of them. I just went, I said to like Jez, I says, like, what the fuck's going on here, mate? He said, no, you were close to playing, you've been doing well in training. I says, he fucking phoned me and said me I'm playing. Now I'm turning up and I'm no. He said, aye, but you were close. I was like, right, okay. And then that was me, done.
Head's gone.
Aye. Started January, and then a couple of things came and sort of went, and then come the end of January, you get built in.
Conversations had.
Yeah.
To rip up that contract.
Get that contract ripped up and off you pop.
And that was it.
Was there much negotiating? Like, was that the end of your contract?
It was the end of the contract, so it was.
Well, you had the to the end of the season.
Yeah, so I had like 6 months left, so I just went.
Just geese it and I'll go.
No, I've played a bit of hard bargain, like had to be done. So
why no? If they've fucked you about so much, aye.
So they offered us a couple of payoffs, and nah, not taking that. So I went back to where I was staying in Manchester, and then I think it was about 10:30 at night. And they phoned us and, we take this? Nope. I'll see you tomorrow for the training. And then about 10 minutes later, we take this. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Went back, and then they tried, there you go. And it was like, nah, that's not what we agreed on the phone. So I caught up, went to walk out, and oh no, I'll come back. That's what. And I was like, right, sign
Had
it.
another one under the table. That's the right one.
Aye.
Fucking hell.
Another letter at the bog, and there you go. Sorted. So
Mental.
that was that done. So it was probably for the best, mate. And it's one of the times you end up just going,
thank God.
An experience.
Something different, because I'd never really experienced anything like that. You'd heard loads of folk talking about it, and other folk would sort of tell you how to handle it in that
Deal
situation, but until you're actually in it, you're just.
It's different.
It'll give you a different outlook on football.
Aye, it did,
it
was one of them where you just gone, fucking pricks, just let us go, man. Like, why stop me? Because I said going to Toronto, 3-year deal on the table.
It's mental, that.
And then from pull the plug, and then about a week later and say, you can go if you want.
Shit,
it's just
fucking you over, isn't it?
There's just no need for it. Like, even if he said to us, look, go, but I do need you to do this or that. I could maybe have said, we'll see, but the fact that he done it and then they said not long after is that, nah, you can go now. It's gone.
Aye.
The joys. And then you get paid up, and then there's a wee spell. You go to Galway in Ireland for 4 months. Was that just a kind of stopgap? Was it an opportunity?
It was. So I think you've seen yourself before. I'd gone into Stockport. So because we're living in Manchester, Stockport's just outside. It was that perfect. Their goalie coach actually phoned us the next day.
Yep.
So it'd come out that I was away. Following day, I think they had a bounce match, and he said, look. So I think it was a Monday. I left. Tuesday, I had a bounce match. So he's come and train on Thursday. Like, there's something here. We need a goalie. And I've tried to sign you in the past. Do you fancy it? So I was that right? Aye. There was other options to go out to Ireland sooner, but didn't want to uproot Haley and like look, it was only a baby and whatever else. So I was like, nah, if I can do that, stay in Manchester.
It's handy.
It's
Suits everyone.
easier, aye. And then obviously that sort of fell through because they were administration. I was too old to sign.
To sign, right.
So it's like 21 and under, I think it is.
Right.
I was 23 at the time, so
it couldn't happen.
Couldn't happen. So over to Ireland I went.
Did you go yourself,
Yep.
or just went yourself?
Aye, so it was all right because they played Friday nights. So Haley was like, "Me, let's come up back. We're living with mum and dad."
Yep.
And then like on a Saturday morning, so we'd play Friday night, and I'd get a flight home at like, I think it was like 7 o'clock from Galway to Manchester. So Galway airport was tiny, so I'd literally get picked up, check in, walk through a door, and that was me in departure lounge. So I could literally get there at 6:30,
Aye.
go through, and I'd be on the plane. I'd fly back, 40-minute flight.
Brilliant.
And then
Down the road.
Aye, so that was that. So back to Manchester, spend a bit of time with Haley and Luca, and then I'd sort of fly back. I think I flew back the Tuesday.
Right, so you got a few days back.
Aye, so I train Wednesday, Thursday, play Friday night.
Decent. How was it? Was it a decent standard, or?
It was all right. There was some decent teams and some decent players. It was that season when I was out there was the one that Shamrock Rovers got in the UEFA Cup, played like Tottenham and stuff.
Yep.
And then you got boys like players like that. James McLean was playing for Derry.
All right. Okay.
So like, I remember the first time playing against him, and I was like, wow, this guy's very good. Scored an absolute worldie past me, which I ended up getting goal of the season.
Did he?
Aye, and then he got moved to Sunderland. I think it was Sunderland he got moved to.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Nah, know him.
No. He's a controversial character, isn't he?
A poppy man.
He was some player. Like he was, as you say, he's not exactly had a bad career since he's come over.
No one fucking likes him, but he's had a good career.
Basically, aye. So it was decent standard.
No bad.
Yeah.
Good. We kind of get you some games and that, keep you going until obviously the summer when again, it's January's always a difficult window as well. And then the next 4 years you have spells at Chesterfield, Grimsby, Calais United, and Celtic Nations, which was a strange one, which we'll touch on at the end. The other three, Chesterfield, Grimsby, Calais United, good memories, or what was just briefly go?
It was all right. Like Chesterfield, we got they won the Johnson Paint Trophy.
Ah, yes.
We got a chance to beat Wembley.
Mm-hmm.
So like I didn't play, I was on the bench, but it's like,
great experience.
What a stadium that is. Like, it's unbelievable. Like you come out the tunnel and you see like the two, and then you come out and it's
Aye.
And there was like a very good crowd at the game as well. So yeah, things like that, and like Sunderland, they played at Sunderland, with Carlisle in the FA Cup, and just like the experiences that were very good.
Nice. Grimsby? Anything on Grimsby?
It was actually a very good club.
Was it?
Aye, they looked after you very well, but it's just miles away.
Aye.
And it's probably something like Annan. That any game was at least an hour away,
right?
If not longer, and it's just a lot.
Just a bit of a trek. Aye.
It's just like I did enjoy it, but it's just one of them you're going. Just what's coming to. I'd rather just go back up the road and be closer to family.
Yep. Celtic Nations, the last one, was a strange one. When I looked at it, I thought, fucking hell, he's not been there for long. He signed in the summer and then he was gone before the window closed. What happened to that one?
So it was Willie McStay was the manager. So I'd left Carlisle and you'd bounced around a few clubs to whatever else doing every sort of year.
Yep.
You know.
You get to the stage you're like, I don't know if I can be asked with this anymore. It just sort of drained you, and I was like, start looking for a proper job, basically. And Willie McStay phoned us. So he's like, look, I'm at the ground, come down and meet us. And I think I was actually there at the ground for about 3 hours talking to him. And lovely guy, great guy. Come on, come here, give it a try. If you don't like it, at least you can say you've had a go.
Yep.
So I think, yeah, decent. I'll give it a bash. Started pre-season, started July. By the end of July, I was gone. So we literally played. I think we played 2 pre-season games, and Willie phoned us and goes, "I'm away."
He moved on, didn't he?
Aye.
Right.
Whoever Frank, somebody. pulled the plug, like his money.
The money man, right?
Basically pulled out, and
that was it. Dead. That was
done.
club gone.
No, what he'd done is he'd left enough money to see out that season.
Right.
But obviously, all the boys that are on contracts all get you later on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of them. So it was like, you're going, Jesus Christ, I've literally just signed here. It's now gone. Everybody's sorted, and you
Back to square one.
basically waiting for a lucky
move.
Pardon the pun, but it's a lucky break because
Yeah.
I get a move to Steny off the back of you've been playing against Neil Alexander, Rangers Hearts. He broke his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Steny had Jack Hamilton.
Ah, right.
So that's how my move to Steny come about.
Pulled him back.
Hearts pulled him back, so they needed a goalie. Big Wally, remember Chris Smith?
Yeah.
He'd been in a bike crash,
Right.
and his knee was a mess. Like, it was at the bad. So he was on his scudded and somebody'd pull out and scudded him and sent him flying, and he was going to be injured for a while. So it was like Robert Glenn, the goalie coach, phoned us and goes,
Rav?
Aye.
You like Rav, do you?
Aye. Great guy, Cammy.
Is he?
He's another one, the foam hand.
Is he? Amazing.
He was
Where's his gloves during the game?
Does he?
he's sitting on the bench for his goalie gloves on, didn't he?
Does he?
You never won them in a game.
The gloves are never on, are they? Every so often you point at me and go, it's a decent colourway that there, isn't it? But no, he phones us and goes, you're needing a goalie. Do you fancy it? He's at, so I was like, give it a bash, see what happens. So I basically signed a 6 months
Yep.
with a 6 month option to basically see what's going to happen. So see if I was enjoying it. Because I was actually in training with you with Chapu's manager.
That's right, aye.
And just go see if it's. I was at the time, I was thinking, can I be asked travelling? Probably not, but Chapu was trying to be as, I can give you 20 quid a week just now. Once I get rid of a few folk, I'll give you a new contract. I'm like, alright mate, I'm buttoned up the back right enough. So I went to Steny, and then they said originally it was a 6 month deal, but they said that we'll keep you for the
season.
So, and it worked out.
All right.
Every game.
Who was the manager then?
Started off it was Scott Booth.
Right.
And then he got the sack, and Brian Ferguson came in as well. He was assistant, so
Yep.
he got the job, and he was good. Like, I liked him. Good guy as an assistant, but also as a manager, he was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually stayed up in the playoffs. So we finished
In League One, wasn't it?
Aye.
Yep.
Finished second bottom. We beat East Fife in the semi-final, and then we beat Queen's Park in the final. So the fact that I played every game, I'd actually really enjoyed it, and it actually gave us a bit of buzz back about playing football.
Football, aye, because you maybe lost a wee bit when.
I'd lost.
Bit of love.
Aye.
Aye.
I was, as I said, the year before, I was chucking it,
Aye.
and I think I was 27 at the time. So I can't be arsed with this. It's just so much shit goes on.
Aye, behind the scenes. But again, that one wee season kind of gave you a boost because you moved to Ayr off the back of that. And again, the first season at Ayr, you get promoted from League, because they were League One as well, weren't they, at the time? So they were League One. You get promoted via the playoffs. Stranraer in the final.
Yeah, so we drew the first leg 1 each. Boy Ross Docherty scored virtually the last kick of the ball to get us an equaliser, and then the second game at Somerset, that could have got football stopped. It was one of the worst games.
Was it horrendous?
I think there was like 4,500 there, and basically it was two teams desperate not to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And it was a horrendous game. But
goes to pens.
Aye. Goes to pens, and
what does he do? Peter, tell us what he does.
Saves 3.
3 penalties he saves. 3 penalties.
Yep. So
I'm actually disappointed it's only 3.
I don't know. I don't know who scored one. Do you know who scored the one that went? Did somebody score into you?
They did, aye.
Who was it?
Willie Gibson.
Was it? Willie Gibson, first round. But again, you were on top. You get them club promoted, so decent result. Get up to the championship. You stay. You're obviously there. You signed a 2-year deal. Am I right in saying that, or was it a 1 and then signed a?
That was a 1 and a 2.
Right.
So obviously Ian McCall's manager, and he phones us after the playoffs. He's like, look, I think they're having meetings with everybody on the Tuesday.
Right.
Don't need to come up. I'm going to be in Dumfries on Wednesday.
Okay.
Cairndale.
Right. Yep.
He's like, come meet me there. like, you know, and what keep you, so you've done well, and I'd like to keep you, so I was like, perfect, I'm happy enough with that. Obviously I was car sharing with Murph, going up and down to the training and whatever else, so it was ideal, so I was happy to stay. So I was expecting another 1 year deal, but he offered us a 2, so I was thinking my days of a 2 year deal are long gone. I was only, what was it, 29 at the time, so I thought, nah, nobody does 2 year deals really in Scotland, especially part time, but I was more than happy to sign it because I enjoyed it, and that was obviously agreed quite quickly.
Good. Next season was a wee bit more difficult. It was a strong championship at that point as well. I think I was at United when that season, Dundee United, and you end up going down automatic. Was that a tough season, hard to kind of take relegation?
It was, but as you say, it was a tough league because there's only really, I think it was us and Dumbarton were only 2 part-time teams.
Yep.
Then you've got like
Hibs were in it.
Dundee United,
yep.
Dunfermline, decent size.
Falkirk were very good at that time as well.
Who else was in it? Like
Morton were good.
Stephen Dobie was at Queen's at that time, and he was banging goals in for fun, wasn't he? But so it was a tough league, but obviously we had some good results, but we could never put a proper run together. Like, we beat Hibs at Easter Road, and then the next game I think we got beat by Falkirk.
Right.
And you're going, it's weird, but the only time we sort of put a good run together was about October time. We won every game that month, and then we never won a game for about 8 games. And it was just so up and down, but even going to the last game we had a chance of staying up, but we got beaten off the Raith Rovers.
Just didn't happen.
No.
And then your second, obviously you dropped down to League One, but bizarrely they decide they're going full time in League One. Was that a conversation you had with the manager there and says, look, I'm wanting to stay part time, or what? How did it come about that? Because you were had a year left on your deal.
I was happy enough to stay. So obviously McCall spoke to us towards the end of the season and said, look, we're going part full time, sorry, but I'd like you to stay. What's your thoughts? So I'm happy to stay, like. And obviously it come out, they're going full time. He's like, look, I want you to do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So I was like, right, let me see what I can do. And then, in fact, a few other boys, like Big Jamie Adams was doing Tuesday, Thursday, and a couple of others were doing that as well. So he says, how about just Tuesday, Thursday? I was like, that's perfect. He's like, leave you on the same deals you're on last season, but you just come in for the day. That's fine. I was more than happy to sign that.
Yep.
And then I think I was going up to meet him. I think I was meeting him at Abington Services, and he phoned us and says, I can't give you that anymore. I'm going to have to bring your money down. And I was like, but this had been going on back and forward for
a while,
a couple of weeks, and it was like at the stage where I couldn't be arsed with it, and I knew that Peterhead were sort of like, I spoke to Jim McAnally a few times on the phone, and I just thought
they were interested, and that was kind of.
It was, they were interested in speaking to Jim.
They were ambitious at that point as well, weren't they?
They'd just been relegated into League Two, and he basically says, we want to win the league. We don't want to be hanging around in League Two. We want to try and, because like the season before, when we got promoted to Ayr, Peterhead had been us, Ayr, Peterhead and Dunfermline were sort of 3 teams challenging mainly.
Right.
And then obviously us and Peterhead fell off, and Dunfermline kicked on, but they'd got to the playoffs. We'd beat them in the playoff semi-final, and then they got relegated the next season. But he basically said that they'll go back up.
So that made your mind up. Willie signed.
Willie signed for Peterhead as well, so I knew somebody there, so I could have somebody to travel with.
I was going to say, because it's a fucking trek up there. Did you only have to train once a week, or what was it?
Train one night a week at Forfar.
Right, so no.
So it wasn't too bad. It was just a nightmare. I decided to train at 8:30.
Oof, it's a late one home.
It was a late one home. You're only getting home till like 1 o'clock in the morning, but
you seem like you enjoyed it at Peterhead though.
You played a lot of games as well there.
I think I missed 2 games in the 3 years I was there.
That's good, that.
And to get like obviously the travelling was tough, but as a club they could not do enough for you. They were like really good. Like there'd be some weekends me Haley and the kids would go up, and the directors would see us pull it, like getting there and Hayley getting out with the kids, and
Yep.
so we're like, I'm going in the entrance with her. Directors are like, oh, tell your wife to come upstairs with the kids, and they put her in hospitality, and like one of the directors had his own catering company. He'd come out and like kids, what do you want? Anything to eat? Let us know what you want, and we'll go and make it and bring it back. And
Brilliant.
Nice
looked after
touches.
it. Aye, like little things like that, and they just couldn't do enough for you, and it was
We've
brilliant.
spoke about Peterhead before, haven't we? And said like you remember it. I remember.
Wankers. Oh no, sorry.
I think I've only been up there twice, but you remember it. You're like,
Food
fucking
unbelievable
the
after
food
the
after the game,
It's frightening.
incredible, and the way they treat you though. Again, it's like they're all nice people and welcoming and.
I can remember going a lot of times. Was it the King's Mill? No. Where's the one at Aberdeen?
Dalton's.
Dalton's,
Aye,
that's it.
Dalton's.
Sorry, we would go there for pre-match,
Yeah.
and like some of the like yourself or
stay there.
Greg,
Aye.
Willie and stuff. The boy Eddie and Hoops at that time
Aye,
as
they-
well.
Hoops,
Well, later
they
on.
come later, aye.
And you're like, they put them up the night before, and you think that's good. It's
Mhm.
good. They looked
Like-
after, and you got a club car as well. Did
Got
you?
a car and
Did
that as
yous?
well, aye, so-
Wow, very well looked after
Aye. There's a car with a car. and
for
then-
part-time football.
Aye, a car. End up getting a fuel card. So it was, as I say, then Friday nights they'd put you up in the hotel, or even one of the directors had a house that you're going up with the family. You'd say, like, if your family want to come up, you stay there.
That's good.
That's great.
And look after you, like, brilliant. And then, as you say, the food and that after the games was very good as well, which
Aye.
also helped. And you get like a
Massively.
3-course meal after the
Aye.
game.
Aye.
Brilliant. That really good.
I can always remember you up there as well, big man.
No, I don't know if I went. I went a couple of times maybe.
Big boy took the piss out of Pedro, so he stamped on the back of his head.
Did
Listen,
you?
no,
Is he red up there?
Cammy, no.
He had a
No.
red strip on and a red
No
card.
comment.
That was hilarious. That was a boy was shit at football, but he was like skill wise, he was frightening. You didn't know where you're coming.
Do you know what had happened? He'd caught me with an elbow.
Oh, had
He
he?
had, he caught me with an elbow.
On that nose.
He was literally about 8 yards away and hit me in the nose.
Was it right in the throat, wasn't it?
I kind of in the face, whatever it was. I think, and I was like, I was annoyed at the ref. I was like, "Fuck, have you seen that?" Because it was like a ball come out, a by kick or something, and he went to turn around and see me coming and just gave one of them and run right in there. And I was like, "Fucking bastard!" But anyways, that's
We just run about raging. Or
just angry.
He's run about raging, got megged. The boy tripped.
did he? Did he trip over and you stamped
He
in
is
his
the
head?
one player in Scottish football that's no meg me in the lower leagues.
It was hilarious because then speaking to him upstairs after the game, I was like, "Is he red there, big man?" He's like, "To be fair, the boy's just taking the absolute piss out me there, mate, so it's the only way I could stop him."
Why no, eh?
Aye.
Why no?
It was hilarious.
I could just see the real like Simon Ferry's like, what are you doing? what are you doing? I'm just,
Why have you done? Why have you done that?
Nah, good. It sounds, as we kind of touched on there, a nice club though. A
yeah,
good club.
seems that way from
and
everyone you speak to. Anyway,
Aye, it was very good, and I said Jim was actually a nice guy as well, who again do anything for you.
Yep.
Like there was times you didn't fancy going up for training, so me and Willie be like, "The fuck can we get out of this?" There's bad roadworks and that, we're stuck, we can't get up. No problem, pals, get yourself home, it's fine, don't worry about it.
Turn the car round. Oh, hadn't he started it, Jim? Fucking don't worry about that.
nightmare. I'm just up past Hamilton.
There's fucking bad roadworks at Abington Celsius, I can't get up.
Brilliant. So then you obviously had a successful 3 seasons there. It was good. Played a lot of games and that. Made the change to Stranraer for a season,
Yeah.
and then you found yourself at Annan.
Aye. So obviously left after COVID. Peterhead got rid of a few boys and whatever else, and I was obviously one of them. So
Got a letter.
no,
Another one.
I got a phone call for a change. It's the first time probably, but it was one of them. So I went to Stranraer and had a season there. We actually had a right good team at Stranraer, and you were obviously at Queen's Park.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you hadn't been in the league,
Yous would have.
I think we could have won the league. We had some like Jamie Hamill right back, Scott
Faz,
Robertson,
was Faz
Faz manager, aye.
Mm-hmm.
So Faz manager, Big Franco assistant, and Eric Phillips goalie coach. So
Yeah.
like 3 decent guys, but a right good team. We Andy Stirling, Rory Payton, Tam Orr up top. Like that was your front three.
Decent, aye.
Darryl Duffy as well, Jamie Hamill. So we had a right Joe Victoria, good players, but Queen's Park were just
The first season they were spending money, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like we were we beat them in the league like later in the season. The first team we beat them, but we just fell off towards the end. Like we lost to Hughes. I think it was the third game of the season. Then we never lost again until remember the league stopped.
Yeah.
So we lost that third game and then didn't lose again for the rest. Like up until the league stopped, and then
stopped around January time, did it not?
Aye.
For the second batch of COVID, wasn't it? It was they put the restrictions back in place, didn't they?
And then obviously that
scuppered it.
Scuppered us really, because when we come back we're very hit and miss, and fucking travelling done Western, that was unbelievable as well. Like
that's a horrible road.
Home game's worse than an away game for you.
It was
for travelling.
But like even we done Scottish Cup, so we played Brora away on the Saturday. We went to extra time, we won that, come back down the road, and we're going to be on the Tuesday night.
Oh, jeez.
And you're just looking, going like, what? Who plans this?
That's horrendous.
And you're just, it was a couple of long days. Like
part-time football at its best in Scottish.
Part-time football, enjoy.
Aye.
And then, as you say, it was change of manager. Faz goes to Dumbarton, Hammy gets a job. And it was one of them where you sort of speak to Hammy and it's going, look, I can only do one night a week. He sort of, at the start, he's like, yeah, alright, okay, no worries, that's fine. But I could tell it was not ideal for him. He wanted somebody in 2 nights a week, and I understood that.
First job as well, as a manager, so.
He's wanting things done. And as I said to him at the time, I says, look, if it's going to be an issue, let me know, I'll go. Can bring somebody else in. But as I said at the start, he was like, no, it should be alright. But it's one of them you can sort of tell it was, he'd phone us or message and say, look, are you going to be in? No, I can't make it, I'm working. Because at the time I was working 5 nights out of 7, so I was working a Tuesday night, so I couldn't get up there. Literally, because the train at Kilwinning,
which is a trek as well.
It's a trek on its own, so I was getting up, I'd done it once, I got up there, so it took me about an hour and 45 minutes to get there. I trained for 40 minutes to leave, to come back down and go and do a 10-hour night shift, and it's just gone, nah, it's not happening. So obviously I come to an agreement that I was going to leave, and then obviously that's when I signed for Annan.
Moved to the mighty Annan.
I did indeed.
And again, you've had a good journey at Annan as well,
success
haven't you?
over
yes, really
5 years now, really?
4.
This is the 4th,
aye.
Yeah, I guess so.
4 years. What at Annan, obviously, what would be the special moments for you? Would it be the playoff?
I think it's obviously
getting promoted, or the Stirling game. What for you personally? What one?
I think obviously being promoted was massive.
Yeah,
I would say that there'd been how many playoffs beforehand?
I think it was 5 or 6. I
Aye,
think
it was
it
So
a
it'd
few
been a
we
good
went through
few,
it.
and we'd lost in the final a couple of times. Like the season before, we lost to Edinburgh. That was a hard one to take. And then obviously you get promoted, but Stirling game was massive as well, because for me it was I'd got injured through the season, and then I hadn't played for a few games, and then I got back in for like the last quarter, and I had a couple of no bad saves during the game. It helped, and we got the 1-1 draw. And after that game, I just dropped to my knees. I was going, we were miles off, weren't we? Like miles behind Stirling, and we just clawed it back.
Managed to.
And it was one of them you're going, how have we actually done that? It was just a relief.
Aye.
Brilliant achievement, though, isn't it? It's
Massive. Like I say, going up, brilliant, but sustaining to stay up the next season.
That was, I think for me, like staying up was a bigger achievement, because how far off we were behind.
Especially with the Hamiltons and the Falkirks.
That was a tough league, aye.
It was a
really tough league.
And his first season, and it was tough, but for this, that last quarter I think we lost once, didn't we?
You had a right good run in, didn't you?
Aye, so, and everything sort of come off, didn't it? Even like making subs.
Yeah.
Subs were coming on and scoring goals, or doing something like to affect the game, and it just worked out perfectly.
Aye.
And then it was a good night afterwards, wasn't it?
Great, man. That was
bus journey down the road, and then
back into
Into
the
the
club,
club,
wasn't it? I
aye.
can mind seeing videos of it.
At a decent time. That
I
time
got back, we didn't, and it didn't get shut
Promotion.
down about an hour later. The
promotion got
one.
shut early because it was obviously a night game.
Right, so it was, yeah.
It was Friday night, and then I think we got back to the club, and then everyone's sort of just getting into the swing of things. And then
Police come in.
police
Oh,
come.
did they come
Shut
and
it
kick
down,
it
aye,
out?
about 1 o'clock.
Police come like right out, everybody out. You're going, oh my god! But as you say, it was Stirling at 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
and it was
Good
home,
party.
home for 6:30, 7 o'clock. aye,
Great.
so-
Everyone
Well, remember
buzzing.
we stopped at the Morrison's right beside Stirling
That's
Stadium,
right, aye.
and the amount of drink it got
Just
put on the bus
filled
was
the drink.
unbelievable.
I felt the bus.
And it was gone by the time we got down the road. And then we got into the bar, and it was, I think, there was drink just everywhere, and it was perfect.
Great.
I think by the end of the night, I think it was only like me, you, Cole, Alan, Muff left in the club, wasn't it? And then I was going, I can feel myself, my eyes are going. I was steaming, I was going, I need to go.
Home
I've
time.
done none to eat.
Great, man.
But it was a good day, wasn't it?
Good memories, great memories. You've now kind of got a dual role at the club with regards to still in the playing squad, and you've took on the role of goalie coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding both?
It's, to be fair, I think obviously not playing, it was sort of choice made, because as I said, after the Stirling game, I dropped to my knees. I felt like
You're done.
that's me, aye. I know it doesn't sound great, but is it going to get any better for myself at Annan?
Yep.
Possibly not. And I always wanted to sort of say I'll finish on knowing I could still do a job than it being forced upon us, where nobody wants you and you're, I think that's me done.
Aye.
So that's how obviously that decision came. Then obviously, but I've enjoyed the coaching side. It's been different. It took a bit of time to get used to, because obviously you're gone from playing and just worrying about yourself to going, hey, I've got Jamie, I need to work with him and work on stuff with him, and I've got young Archie who's coming through, who's a very good young goalie, so I need to then keep watching him, see what if there's little things that he can do better and whatever else. But whereas before I had JC just going, that wasn't very good, or that was good, this, that, next thing. I just worried about myself and nobody else. Quite selfish, but
So
it's the way it's to be.
Different role, and then you've got big Pedro to talk tactics with on the bench. Are you enjoying that?
There's not much
Brilliant.
tactics getting
No,
talked.
there's-
Smoke about.
No, it's not much tactics talking about me and Pete, but it's good fun.
I could imagine.
It's a pocket full of sweets and me hammers. I'm like, got a sweet
He's got about 3 left in here. Fucking hell, man.
Greg, the sweets in the pocket and a big hole in the pocket.
With his gloves on.
No, it's just rabbit puts the gloves on. There's no chance of me.
Quick touch on Jamie, because you're obviously in here. You've been impressed with him this season. Good guy to work with.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done very well. Obviously, when it got put to us about Jamie, I know obviously Potsy, Brian Potter, so it was when they spoke to him and he's like, look, if you got a chance, get him. Great kid, wants to learn, won't give you an ounce of trouble, and basically what Potsy says bang on. He's been a great kid to work with. We have a good laugh, and obviously Pedro comes over and joins him in the banter of the goalies, and
Good lad.
You like the goalies, do you?
No.
he's a
No,
liar.
there's
Wait till
some-
he gets outside and goalies are the best.
Nah, he's there. Great lad, isn't he? He is.
Yeah, he's a good lad and he's done very well.
Yeah.
Especially with it being like his first full season where
Staying injury free.
he's not had.
getting
He's had
full.
that run of games where he's played
Yeah.
virtually, apart from the Bonnie, like he's played every game and he has
Been
done
important
well.
and all.
Yeah, he's made some big
Obviously been
saves.
very busy this year.
Aye.
No, he's done well.
Maybe
When I've seen him.
overworked at times, but he's.
It's the nature
I
of
think
the
he
beast.
can
isn't
look
it?
back and go, my first full season, I've done very well.
Yeah. No, good again. Good for you to work with him as well. Get experience for him just to feed off of you. But nah, great. Thanks for taking us through that, Greg. That's takes us nicely on to your best 11, which is interesting. I seen it today and I thought, fucking hell, there's some players in there. Like
Absolutely.
some players. Can
He's
you?
missed
I'll
some
just-
players and all.
Aye, he has.
It's mainly centre half.
Certainly no. Take us through it, Greg, if that's all right.
Yeah, so to start with, in goals I've gone for Jordan Pickford.
What a goalie to start with.
he come on loan to Carlisle when I was there. Can always remember it. I'd played a few games. I'd done all right, nothing special, but nothing too bad. But they signed one of the lads goes, "Oh, we're signing a kid on loan for Sunderland." So, I'll play ahead of him. Seen him in training the first. I was like, fucking no chance. It was one of them. I just got, nah, this boy's he's decent, and he was actually a nice kid as well.
Was he? I was going to ask what he's like.
He was not the full shilling likes, but you can probably see that when he plays now.
Yep.
But nah, he was a nice kid to fair him, and he's done very well.
Great start. What a start.
So I then gone for the formation as a 3-5-2.
Nice.
I don't know. I prefer a 3-5-2. I always have. I think it maybe gives you a bit more cover as a goalie. You've got 3 centre halves, and my 3 centre halves were all at Oldham when I was there. So starting off with Craig Dawson, who was a young lad coming on trial basically, and he was decent. Big boy header that was alright with the ball at his feet. But I don't know, for whatever reason he was there, and then he went on loan to Radcliffe or something, Radcliffe Borough in one of the leagues.
Right.
He went there, and then that was it. He went come back, and then he asked to leave, went there, and then ended up going to Rochdale, and then a year later he signed for West Brom in the Premier League. And you're going, put him alongside, so give him a chance, and that could have been Oldham making a good bit of money off somebody like that, but wasn't to be.
Good player. And
then the centre of the 3 is Sean Gregan, who was club captain at Oldham.
Right, okay.
When I was there, he's played in the Premier, West Brom, was at Leeds and Preston and stuff as well, and just very good centre half, big lumpy a guy. And
Big Joy Royal head.
Not as big as that, but it was a big old head, because that year at Oldham we played against Leeds and had Jermaine Beckford up front.
Yes.
And Greg is he'll not touch the ball this game. He's fucking scored 25 goals this year. What are you talking about? First ball comes up, Beckford goes to flick it on, Greg just goes bang. He does the back of his head. And I'm going, what are you doing? Beckford didn't touch the ball the rest of the game. Was scared. Anytime the ball come up, he just duck out the road, and Griggs would run up behind him, and he just basically step out the road to him. It's just going, if that's what you can do, if that's what you're doing now, I'd hate to see what you were like when you were in your prime as a player, because you wouldn't want to hit off him. And again, on the ball, frightening.
Was he?
Aye.
Passes and that, and
passes, just so composed. Centre half just drop, take it on the edge of the box, because at that time you weren't allowed the centre halves in the box for the passing. But he'd be the only one that dropped to take it, and he didn't give him it. He absolutely slaughtered you. Just fucking trust me. I'll deal with it. You've got two attackers on you. I don't care. I'll just go right through the middle of them.
Just geese it.
Just geese the ball. So you're going, all right, fair enough. And then, as I said, he'd very rarely give it away, which helped. And then last of the 3 defenders was James Tarkowski.
Some pick and all.
A young boy at Oldham coming through, and I think he was 16 and he was training the first team. And that sort of tells you how good he was.
So you could tell straight
away, 16-year-old, first training session with the first team, and he stood out, and you're going, this kid's got a right chance. And you look at the career he's had, and
incredible.
It's very good.
Great, good back three that.
And then my 2 wing backs, right wing backs, Nicky Devlin. He was club captain at Ayr when I was there.
Yep.
So he was only a young boy at the time, but has everything like a full back, wing back needs. Quick, decent in the air, up and down the pitch all game, and obviously he's not played as much for Aberdeen lately, but you've seen at the start of the season how good he was and important he was for them as well. So
great kind of journey his career as well. Ayr to obviously his time at Livingston as well, and we all know you have to work hard, but you can see he works ever so hard, doesn't he?
Well, he got released by Steny when he was a young boy,
right? Which
is frightening. Gets released by Stenhousemuir and goes to Ayr, and then his career just takes off.
Kicked on, aye.
And then left wing back was Kyle Naughton. He come on loan to Gretna from Sheffield United at the time, and he was very good. He could play anywhere. He's that season when we were at Gretna, he's the only one I've seen who kept Aidan McGeady quiet.
Right.
So at that time, McGeady was flying, and I can remember we played them at Livingston, and Kyle marked them basically out the game, and Kyle got chucked up top. Somebody else come on at right back, and McGeady set 2 goals up less than a couple of minutes, and we got beat. And that's how, like, he's had a right good career. He's Sheffield United, Tottenham, Swansea, and yeah, he was frightening.
Top player.
Aye. Then obviously 3 midfielders, Moxie.
Yes.
Like Moxie's, I think you just look at him now, what he's doing, but again, he was one that would take the ball all day long, decent range of pass, and fit as a fiddle up and down, and had a great strike on him. And as you see, you look at what he's doing now, he's, I think Stockport just got in the playoffs and secured, and he's had a promotion up to the Championship already and played in the Championship. So you could always tell he had something about him, but it was just, I think he was just waiting on that chance really to
the move,
a big team to take him. And obviously you see what happens when he went to Carlisle. First season he was frightening, got a promotion, then got a move.
Gets his move, no, great.
And then next one's Dale Stevens, who signed actually the same day as me at Oldham. He was frightening. What a player he was. I think he basically modelled his game on what would be like Steven Gerrard.
Right,
he tried to ping it like him all the time. And it took him a long time to break into the team at Oldham. But once he got on, he never come out. Got moved to Southampton, got moved to Charlton, and then played years for Brighton in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually recently retired as well. So,
is he? Right.
So he was very good. Then Reece Lyons, again, that season Moxie leaves, goes to Carlisle. It's a big job to replace him.
Yep.
And I think you probably agree that Reece come in was unbelievable.
Oh, aye. Excuse me. Obviously, I think, where did he go? He went Kelty.
Kelty last season, didn't he?
And again, I thought he
was decent for them.
I know.
But it was big shoes sort of to fill when he come in, and to be fair to him, he done very well.
Slotted in.
Aye. And you look, like the last time he played Queens, he was the best player on the pitch by a country mile, in my opinion. He won the game the second time.
I know, I like every time I see him, I think he's a top player. I think he's a big player for Queens, a huge player.
What's evident is when he doesn't play well, the Queens don't play well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he is very, very important for them.
Yep.
He's massive, and he's done, I think you can only see his career kicking on again.
Yeah.
Which
I'd like to know, because he's a good lad, isn't he?
Aye, great lad. And he was one of them where, no, he'd come and take the ball off the goalie for a goal kick.
Mm-hmm.
He'd actually say to you, what side do you want me to go? Like, tiny little things, like, is it easier for you if I stand this side, or is it easier for you if I stand that side? Or, and you're going, mate, I don't care, just take the ball and do what you need to do.
Take the ball and don't give me it back.
Aye, just take it and run as far up the pitch and get away from me. But he had that in him as well, where he'd drop and take the ball off you, and he started, like, Moxie was the same, but they'd start dribbling it out, and if there was nothing on, they just drive, keep going, and take attackers out the game, and then pass the ball, and you're going, he's taking 3-4 players
out the game, aye. No, he's a good player.
He's done very well. And then striker, one of them, Andy Cook, who I played at Grimsby with.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's at Bradford now. He's big dope.
Is he?
Oh, thick as mince. I was actually his roommate at Grimsby, and he wasn't the brightest, but a great lad who give him a chance to score goals.
Mm-hmm.
Big boy.
Am I right? Aye, I was going to say, am I right in saying he's a big lad? I think I can picture him just now.
He's scored over 100 goals in the English Football League, so you've got to be half decent to be able to do that. And I think he's been top scorer at Bradford. I think he got injured at Christmas time at Bradford, and he's still top scorer now with 18 goals. So he's gone. If you've scored 18 goals in the first 6 months of the season,
you're
a
doing
goal
well.
Scorer.
Aye.
And then, last but not least, Dean Windass.
Yes.
Come on loan to Oldham, and very good player, but even better lad.
Guy, I was going to ask what's he like.
Guy.
Is he?
Aye. Do you? Where's Josh?
Josh, no. So I missed Josh, but I actually got to know Josh through a couple of people. So he's good lad as well.
Aye, Dean was
wild.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
You had a story about him yourself.
Aye. So obviously when we were at Oldham and we were playing Leicester, So it's on the telly. I think a decent wee game on the telly. 5 minutes into the second half, I get a short pass back. Boy nits in front of me and I boot him up in the air. Red card. Fucking hell. Great. So that's me sent off. So that's thanks for that. Probably one of them photos you put on was me getting red cards.
I was actually just about to say, was that one? Was it?
So that's obviously that was the Walker Stadium, but it's at King Power Stadium.
Ah, right, yep.
So I'm going walking off. So I get so far off, and Dino comes over and goes, "Here, lad, geese your strip. I'm in goals." Because we had no sub goalie.
Ah, right. Wow.
And I sort of looked and went, right, okay, no worries. So take me top off. Gave him his. Gave him mine. He gave me his. I gave him my gloves, so he's put his hands in my gloves and like the foam, the fingers are flopping. He's like, how the fuck am I meant to save with these on? I was like going, well, sorry mate, it's the only ones I've got. He's like, yeah, well. So obviously I've been sent off, so I go up the tunnel and I'm pissed off. So I'm walking past, and all like the young players at Leicester, they're stood there and they're giving me, hey, you cost your team the win, this, that, yeah, you fucking idiot, this, that. So I've raging, I've been sent off, shit pass back, and these wee dickheads are giving me a stick. So I've got to boot the door. It looks like a thick door. So I'm like, nah, don't want to kick that with my foot. Fuck, I'll do it the studs, launch my foot into the door, go to try and pull my foot out, I'm stuck.
Right through it?
So I'm not just like, my foot's going through the door, and couldn't get my foot out, so I'm hopping, trying to get the foot out the door. I thought, what a dick I am. So I've got the assistant manager sort of looking, what's he doing? Finally get my foot out the door, go and sit down. So you see, you're sitting in the dressing room, raging. Boy misses the penalty. Dean Mandas is going, you're good. You're playing live on Sky against a fat man in goals. You're going to miss the penalty. See all these fans, you're going to let them down. More importantly, you'll let your mum and dad down. So the guy's tried to ignore him. Puts the penalty wide. Dino has a couple of worldy saves. The draw 0-0. He gets man of the match after the game, and the manager's going, I don't fucking need you anymore. He can play in goals. It's the best game I've seen him play. So I'm like that going,
bastard.
Aye. And then we're on the bus. So the lad Kev Mayer, who gave us a short pass back, he's I'm really sorry, this, that, and the next thing. So I said, right, it happens, mate, don't worry about it. So he's actually gone. So obviously the chief executives, he spoke to him. Chief executives come up and said to us, look, you do realise what you've done to the door, you're going to have to pay for the damages. Yeah, it's my fault, I've seen a bit of red mist. He says, but Kev said he'll cover the cost because it's his fault. So I was like, alright, okay, that's perfect. So I've got up, meant to speak to Kev, and he's like, come on, you're coming out tonight. Night's on me. I was like going, eh. So it was a good night at the end of the day. So I go back to Manchester, straight out, and I think I was out till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Kev Mayer paid for the full night. So sorry. So he paid for the door to get repaired and took me on a night out in Manchester.
For a shot back pass?
Aye.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, I'd be skint if I
Fucking brilliant.
It turned out to be a good night.
Brilliant. Good team. Great team.
It's a good team.
Very good team.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Greg. Much appreciated. That takes us nicely into higher or lower peds.
Yes.
We're back on it.
We're back on.
There's a wee card there. That looks great. That's a good starting card, isn't it? So, Pedro, I'll stick 30 seconds on the clock. Have you got your
Got my whistle.
Whistle. I'll ask you general knowledge questions. If you don't know the answer, just say pass. Pete will mark down the answers if you get right or wrong. And we will start on Peter's.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Peter. Not a minute, 30 seconds. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Right, here we go.
On your marks. Ready?
Good. Who's older, Liam Kelly or Jack Butland?
Jack Butland.
How many points are Falkirk ahead in the Championship?
3.
Former Rangers player Aaron Ramsey is caretaker manager of which club?
Cardiff.
Which club did Simon Murray join Dundee from?
Ross County.
What is the name of Stenhousemuir Stadium?
Ochilview.
Adam Webb is the owner of which Scottish club?
St Johnstone.
Who's the top scorer in the Championship this season?
Pass.
Who do Celtic...
Oh my
I've started, so finish.
Right.
Who do Celtic face in the first game after the split?
Dundee United.
Hi, you said your general knowledge was good, and jeez,
Jeez, oh.
Jeez.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Out of
out
8.
of 8.
Incredible. The
Who
best.
was top scorer in the championship?
Brian Graham.
Brian Graham. I thought you maybe would have guessed that.
No, I
That's
didn't have him in head. I thought that's
fantastic.
Bobby Muirhead at
Did you?
Livingston, but I
That-
wasn't sure.
Really
That's
good.
An incredible standard. So
So we've got 7
7
opportunities to.
to go higher or lower.
Higher or
So
lower.
14 is the maximum you can get.
Right,
So-
Griggsy. So we're on a king. They've not been shuffled since the last time. So King of Spades, higher or lower. So you've got 7 opportunities. Could make it 14.
So you're on
nice and
7.
simple.
Here we go.
Higher or lower.
I'm assuming ace is 1.
Ace.
It's ace higher than a king.
Ace is low, I think. Wasn't
Ace
it?
is low. Yep.
So obviously I'm going to go lower.
Yep. Okay.
Lower.
Jack
Oh,
of
good
Spades
card.
and all.
So you're on 8.
So I'll go lower again.
Lower again. Lower.
Oh,
my God. Queen of
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Done.
You've been absolutely
done.
Unlucky, Greg. Get that right round you.
So 8. So where is he on our leaderboard up there,
8. See him,
Peds?
he's just second.
Oh.
No, third.
Third on the leaderboard.
8 out of.
No, 8.
Just eight,
Just 8.
sorry.
Yeah, 8 out of nothing.
8 out of 9.
Um,
Well done.
Good though. General knowledge was
That was a bit of a
incredible there.
damp squib, that, wasn't it?
It wasn't half. Man. Imagine having a queen straight after a jack.
He's
Like it says,
he's
they're not
fixed
shuffled.
that, no,
They're
aye.
not shuffled.
He's
They're
like,
strategically placed.
he's fucking good at general knowledge. I'll get
I don't
him.
want to stitch him right up.
No, decent. Thanks for that.
These are quick fire, all right.
All right.
Well, no, it's can't. You on these quick fire? But
You're
we'll try
on
and
the
speed it up because we've been on for about 4 hours.
Right, quick
Running out.
quick fire
Electricity.
questions. What's the best stadium you've played at and why?
I'll say Ibrox or Tynecastle because I like decent atmospheres. Like Wembley was good, but I didn't play there, so I kind of class that.
Okay,
But Ibrox or Tynecastle for me, the atmospheres were very good.
good. Who's the best player you've played with or against?
Against would be Michael Owen.
Oh, good.
We
Fucking
played
hell.
with Gretna. We used to go down to Newcastle a lot and play like matches against
Bounce
him.
games and that. Yep.
He was just coming back for injury. I think he'd done his cruise ship and he was top notch. Like
Good answer.
I don't know who the best player I played with. So
Against, fine. We can have one or the other. What's the most enjoyable part of your career? So this could be club that looks after you, team spirit, dressing room, whatever you want.
I think we said before, but probably staying up. But Gretna, not Gretna, Annan was massive. Obviously, we were quite far behind Stirling at the time.
Team spirit
The
got us a long way
aye.
that time, didn't it?
It
Even at
was-
that point of your career as
yeah,
well.
it was actually coming towards the end, and it's probably like
The best.
a good finish.
Yep.
type thing.
Nice. Hardest opponent you've played against and why? So it could be best player, it could be somebody who's a cunt, somebody who's
There's
dirty or whatever.
2. Probably the hardest would be Andy Carroll.
Oh,
And
yes.
Remember Big Beowak in Fenwa?
Mm-hmm.
Played against him when I was at Oldham, and then Andy Carroll was again at we played Newcastle. Andy Carroll's massive. Like I'm standing on a corner and he just comes to right beside us,
Hugely.
and I'm literally about where his nips are,
Aye.
and I'm just going,
And his game as well, isn't he? He
Aye.
loves a.
and he just like first cross I've actually managed to come catch it, and he's just sort of smiling and goes, "Hey, that's not going to happen again, kid." I'm going, "Kid, I'm older than you." But he's proper kidded me off. Next one's come in, a free kick, I've tried to come, and he just absolutely emptied me. And he was a strong boy, and I say when he hit me, I'm going, wow. And then Akinfenwa was massive.
Just big
Aye,
black
aye.
Bobby.
I don't know if you can say things that legs, but
He was huge, wasn't he?
Aye, he was
Absolutely
massive.
massive.
Again on a corner, he's coming stood right beside us. I've tried to shove.
out his shirts.
I had proper long shots on, so it wasn't too bad. He tried to give him a shove, mate, and he just didn't move.
Nah.
And he looked at me just like,
Silly boy.
"What are you doing?"
Silly
I'm
man.
back going, it's a rookie mistake. But aye, it'd be them two. 'Cause
Two of
they're
them.
just units.
Aye, good. Tell us something we don't know about yourself.
Jesus.
I should have prepped you on these actually, man. I didn't.
It was nice of that.
I mean, he's only got one job to
Aye,
do,
one
Greg.
job.
And he can't
Who
do
do
it.
you think this does it itself?
I don't think there's actually anything. I'm just a born bastard that you know everything about us, really, from talking here. There's not much.
Nothing that springs to
Where do
mind.
you work at? Plug it.
Oldham contracting.
There you go.
There you
What
go.
do you do at your job?
My official title is a lab technician.
There you go.
Oh, lovely. It sounds important.
Nah, it's not.
Just keep it.
It's a fancy title, but it's a good place to work, to be fair.
Great. There we go.
There we go.
Excellent.
So a few fans' questions,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll probably seen them. We've got to go rapid fire and all because the fans love it.
All right.
There is quite a few.
Who's the worst heady tennis partner Greg has played with?
I know
From
who
Guess
sent
Who?
that in. And it's probably the guy who sent it in. Sam Henderson.
Sam Henderson.
Nice guy, but Jesus, he's fucking awful at head tennis.
He wears his boots on his hands. What's your favourite ground you've played with and why? Well, obviously, we've touched on that, sorry.
Yeah.
But there's a, in brackets, if you say Blundell Park, my merry men and I will be severely disappointed.
That's Lincoln Gallagher,
Yep.
isn't it? Because
Colin.
Grimsby and
Yep.
Lincoln don't like each other.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we've said Ibrox or Tynecastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
Colin Green.
Yeah, from Colin. From Lee Clark, what's your top 5 games you've played in as a goalkeeper? What was your best game? We'll go best game. 5 games will be here on
5
night.
games are long. That's a lot, isn't it? Best game. Probably when at Oldham we played Leeds. And again, it was on the telly. It was actually a decent game. And we drew 1 each. And had quite a few good saves. And
Man of the match?
no, it was the lead striker got man of the match because he scored. But
Listen, know what I could
you
do
know,
with it.
let's be honest, goalies don't get, unless you have a game like Camera against Celtic, you're not. You keep a clean sheet, you're not getting man of the match.
Aye,
It's very rare.
that's true. Again, there's another one, favourite stadium. This is quite popular, that one. What player did you look up to that got you into football?
Good
from Lee
question.
Clark. So like an influential goalie, for instance.
Well,
Or,
obviously, when growing up, you had your Schmeichels, David Seamans, Andy Gorham. They were the good ones, like the top class ones. Even like Nigel Martin, I thought he
Mhm.
was brilliant, so underrated, but a very, very good goalie. And like Tim Flowers, folk like that,
Yeah.
all very good goalies. And you used to see them make saves, and you try practice in the back garden and stuff like that. So they were sort of like the ones that from what I can remember growing up.
Pop in your head.
Mhm.
Good.
again, Lee's chucked a few ins. Who's the best keeper you've come up against in your career that you've witnessed playing against on the other side?
Obviously Alan McGregor, he played against him
No, aye.
Mhm.
a long time ago, but you see what he was still top notch at 40-year-old, and longevity, so definitely it's got to be him.
Good.
Great goalkeeper. Being a goalkeeper, who was the striker you didn't like going up against? I know you said about Andy Carroll, but as a striker, not even the physicality side of it, just think, oh, fucking hell. if
Him
you-
again. There's a good few that scored loads past me, like. So it could be a list of ones
'Cause
that you didn't really like playing against.
For instance, like, no singling it, Alex, but say Alex, when he was at Annan, you'd be like Rory McAllister coming up to you and you'd be like, oh, Alex, here we go again.
Mhm.
Or Blair Henderson, or when
Yep.
you're in
Yeah.
these sort of leagues.
David Goodwillie.
Aye.
Yeah.
He was a very good player, but always
At every
Is-
level.
every level. But we'd
Especially Clyde, I'm no joking.
Yeah.
What was he like at Clyde?
well, done United before that.
Well,
Aye, he was
Unbelievable.
brilliant.
I never
yeah.
witnessed that. You.
Aye, but
He was.
he'd actually say in the tunnel before a game, like you playing against him, competition again the day, pal. I'd be like, yeah, let's go for it. More often than not, he'd come out on top, like. But it was one of them where he seemed a really nice guy, but also a very, very good player.
Aye.
But he was one that scored against us when I was Peterhead, Ayr, whatever.
Good.
And obviously Alex Valance at the bottom there is asking best moment while playing for Annan. So we've touched on the
it's gonna be
promotion and
the
staying up.
Aye. For me, it's the staying up.
Yeah.
Staying up.
Yeah.
You might get
Definitely.
that as a coach again this year and all.
Hey, you never know. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Well, that's us kind of coming to an end.
It is.
Yeah.
However, we've got gifts for Greg.
Oh, of course we've got gifts.
And I'd like to think Greg's got something for
Has
us.
he got something
I think
for
it
us?
looks like he's got something stuffed under that jumper. Have you got? What have you got for?
Exchanging of gifts.
Have you got a beer keg in there for the boys? What have we got? We've got a wee something for you, Greg. Obviously coming in.
Thank you very much for coming
Pass
in.
them over,
I'll
Cammy.
pass them over,
Fantastic.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Stick them in the bin when you get home.
Be nice wee work mug.
Exactly. No one else will want to use it.
I have got
What's this one?
last season's goalie strip. So
Do you know what? This is our first Annan one. Sloaney's is a testimonial one. We've got
But
Stephen
this is
Sloan's.
the
This is our
first
first
official.
Annan one.
Yep.
So
No, that's a lie.
Is it?
We've got that blue one.
Yeah.
Who brought that in?
I don't know. You're talking shite, Peter.
is it no Jardy or that?
I'll tell you what it is. It's a first goalie top.
First goalie top.
There you go.
Important now.
Oh, of
go.
course it is.
Last
Fantastic.
season's goalie strip from
Staying up.
Staying Up.
Oh, amazing.
So
There we go. We'll get him to
Fantastic.
sign that.
Yep, we'll get you to sign that. Lovely.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
no problem.
Great.
Awesome. You enjoy that, Cammy?
Great. Yes. No, it's been good.
You
hearing-
didn't realise you could sleep with your eyes open, did you?
It's,
Your nose is poking him in the eye.
it's no, it has been good. It's loads of stories you don't know, loads of clubs and that, and you just look at the 11 though.
Oh,
Some names that
absolutely.
again I didn't realise that you were at Callow with Pickford and
Yeah.
again Dean Windass and these names that iconic names in British football. So I know it's been good, really good. You?
Absolutely. I'll say I knew a lot of it anyways, but just to go through all of his clubs is great because there was a lot of them I didn't actually know. Like even the Chesterfield thing, I didn't know that you'd went down there. Even Ireland, I didn't know you'd went over.
No, I
Ireland
didn't know
before
about the
that.
Ireland one either.
Yeah,
Aye, so
it
it's
was- Just one of them things, isn't it?
Aye, you're deep as the bloody ocean, Greg.
no. So once again, thanks to Greg for joining us again today. And good luck for the rest of the season. I nearly took a fit there when I was saying it. Good luck for the rest of the season as well, Annan. Hopefully 2 more games, 2 more wins, and hopefully that Stirling party's happening again in Galabank for you too.
We'll better drink this time, won't we? We never drunk the last time.
No, we were the sensible ones, weren't we?
Well, yous,
We were the driving.
I'll maybe join you if it happens.
you-
Okay.
there we
I'll
go.
drive you home. Okay. And finally, thanks for everyone watching at home and listening to us on this episode and supporting the Black and Gold podcast along the journey so far. And again, please keep liking, sharing all our stuff on social media. Please subscribe to that button on YouTube on our channel and watch all the episodes. That's where you'll find them all. That's all from the Black and Gold podcast. And until the next time, we'll see you all then.